Well, hello everyone, Damon Borrelli here again. This is going to be the first in a series of lectures that I'm putting together. Each one's just 3 to 5 minutes long, where I discuss the various components and methodologies of the case study method as we will be using it and as you'll be using it as you go forward, both educationally and professionally. The objective of this series of videos is to help you with each section and to understand what would be required to be put in each section, as well as the method of actually constructing a response to a case study. Okay? So, without further ado, let's start it up. Why do we do the case study method? I think that's a good place to start. Well, the first thing is the following. A case study gives us a common fact pattern from which all of us will be working in the classroom. We can read the facts, they're laid out for us, and we're able to pick those exact facts apart and know what it is we're doing or not doing at any point in time with them. So we can all have a common discussion. Next, we can all get together and we can review the situation with the objective of looking at one component. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean the following. When we look at the case study, okay, and we decide what the issue is, as a group, as a class, we can go through and we can say, okay, this issue we want to look at, and these are the facts that are relevant to us. It gives us a common basis for discussion. One case could have a myriad of issues, and it would then allow us to delve into separate ones as we go through the process of analyzing the case. But because we're all together, because we have a case study with it's set, shall we say, in cement, we'll be able to pick one issue out and then delve into that one and go to the next one and delve into that one. So it allows for more of a finite area of discussion, so that when you go out in your career and there's a lot more information coming in, it's changing constantly, you learn how to adapt to the situation. The next thing is, a case study allows us to develop what's called the ability to critically analyze a situation. And what do I mean by that? I mean the following. Critical analysis is a situation under which, or a methodology under which, you look at a group of facts, you sit there and say, okay, if I do X, it causes Y. If I do Z, it causes A. In other words, you critically analyze how it is you're looking at a situation. Okay? It is not to say you're criticizing it. Okay? It is that you are tearing it apart, looking at its individual components, and critically looking at the different elements in how they're interacting with each other to create the situation that is presented. And finally, the case study method allows us to utilize references, to understand the use of references. Some references are strong, some are weaker, some, because they're peer review, may be going into further depth than others that do not. So it allows us to learn how do we build our case, so to speak, that we are right, or how to, when we critically look at something, to be able to say, it's not just me talking, it's what I've learned or what other individuals have taught me as I go forward that show this is what we should be doing. So these are the real reasons that we use the case study method, and that it is so valuable to us in an educational as well as professional setting. Once you learn these techniques, you can take the facts that you're being given and then you can apply them to any other given situation. Now finally, when you write, we'll be going into more depth with this, but the case study method also has a certain format to it, or certain requirements to it. We'll flesh these out in the next few lectures. The first thing is everything's in APA format. Your computer can be configured to be able to give you that, but always all your references are in APA format, and we'll discuss that. There are specific sections to a case study, okay? And we will go over each section in detail. You want to make sure that you've always got those sections there. You don't want to depart from the format that we're going to be giving you in terms of APA format as well as content. Now, given that there's a fixed format, that doesn't mean that there's also a fixed content. That's where you're using your intellect. What you put into the case study is your thoughts and what you see as the solution to the problem. What we're giving you in the first three is the methodology so that you can communicate it. So the case study now has another overlay to it, a lot like an onion, is that on one level, you're learning to communicate in terms of a fixed structure that others will be used to receiving from you. On another level, you're learning to communicate by developing your ideas, and then fleshing them out using references, etc., so that others will look at them and be able to give them credence, and they will be given intellectual weight, so to speak. All right? So that's the case study method. As we go through the next set of lectures, you'll notice that what we're trying to do is flesh out each piece of the case study method so that you can understand what it is we're trying to accomplish with it. And I'll see you soon to do that.